Is my partner a sex addict, emotionally broken, or just a cheater? I am torn to really identify what my partner's motive really is. I am 28F, he is 28M. We have been together for 5 years. He has a porn addiction and a specific fetish I cannot provide for. Due to shame, he kept chatting on Reddit with people about the fetish, which was not okay with me, and when he told me, I found out how much he was able to lie to me. He was able to gain my trust back, and for 2 years, we had a really loving but low in sex relationship. During year 3, I was going through a family member not talking to me anymore and a near burnout. We got into a dead bedroom situation. This is when he was presented with the option to have sex with someone matching his fetish. If he had talked to me, I would have been okay with it. But he never talked to me about it and had sex with her 4 times, which was non-emotional. This was while I was traveling for work. Which is how he then also continued to find another woman and had sex another 4 times with her. This is when he ended cheating, which was over a year ago. In hindsight, our dead bedroom was not only caused by me being in a tough mental space, but also him disconnecting after cheating. Our last year had been another emotional rollercoaster, with him losing his job and me still struggling with my family falling apart. We almost separated last week because he was so sexually frustrated that he simply wanted sex and got it. I was away due to our fights. As background, he struggles with his fetish and shame around it. He masturbates multiple times a day if he's alone at home. He spends countless hours on Reddit sexting also during work times and is really conflicted about all of this. His other personality is a really loving partner who has completely transformed my childhood home with me into a place I feel at home. He spent countless hours helping my family, and he truly is emotionally close to me. We have grown together so much, and finding this out took me by complete surprise. I do not really know what else to do besides recommending him to go to therapy for sex addiction and childhood trauma that he feels like lying is the way to be loved. He's been super sad and emotional, which he usually suppressed. He's only cried 3 times in his life after childhood. Now he's been crying for hours and nights because he can't believe what damage he caused. I really want to make things work as I'd like to generally, and that's been my plan for quite a while, to have an open relationship with him. But how am I supposed to do this without trust?
Confession 2. Fiancé cheated for 11 years and I don't know what to do now. I, M31, found out recently my fiancé Pete, M31, cheated on me for the entire time we have been together, 11 years. I found out by snooping through his Facebook when he left it open on my laptop. Turns out he was messaging multiple guys and had slept with one guy twice at his parents' house while they were abroad recently. This is not the first time he has slept with another guy according to his messages. After confronting him, he told me it was just sex and meant nothing. We have never agreed to an open relationship. And if he had spoken to me about it, I may have considered it. But I was under the impression we were monogamous. I've been cheated on before, and it always leaves you with a feeling of not being good enough. Pete knows this about my past but hasn't shown any regrets for hurting my feelings on this matter. This is where it gets messy. I confronted him. He told me he didn't know if he loved me anymore and he was going to leave. He had slept with other guys behind my back and they all knew we were together. I may have reached out to 1 or 2 of these guys. And they all told me he had told them we were open. In the messages I had read where he was actively trying to sleep with other guys. He never even mentioned me or told them we were just roommates. He broke up with me by changing his Facebook relationship status. I have never felt so broken-hearted as I did at that moment. Obviously, I must mean nothing to him. The next 2 months passed and it was awkward. Barely speaking to one another. We still lived in our rented home together, but he moved into the spare bedroom. Finally, in September, he announced he was leaving to move back to his parents, who obviously knew nothing of how their son had been using their home. One night. That's how long he spent there before he came back the next day and said he wanted to try again, as he felt that we had some good times together and wanted to see if I had changed. This part is where I am the idiot. I agreed for him to move back. I couldn't afford the rental payments on my own, and my anxiety and depression had been messing with my head so much. That was October. I still don't forgive him for what he has done to me. But I still love him. He kept telling me that he would see how things go before deciding whether he wanted to be with me or not. He keeps mentioning moving out someplace cheaper, and it seems he is including me in those plans, but he hasn't confirmed if we are even together. He is still single on Facebook, and when I have asked him what we are, he says he doesn't know yet. I feel like I'm being strung along, and I don't even know if he wants a relationship with me, as I believe he may have moved back as he cannot tolerate his parents. His parents believe it is just a breakdown in the relationship due to my mental health and think I need to prove I can change to be better for us both. He's obviously ashamed to tell them he is a cheater. I've told our friends what has happened, and they are shocked as they did not believe him capable of such acts. Now it's January and I don't know what is happening. For all intents and purposes, we are sleeping together, I got checked and am clean, and are still living together. Our tenancy ends in a few months and I don't want to renew. I feel like maybe I should take a step back and move back with my mother for financial reasons. I don't know what he wants. I don't know if I should even want to be with him for all he's done. And he is still flirting and speaking to other guys online. My mental health is improving and I've always been the more level-headed of the two of us. But I am also the more introverted one. I feel I have more to lose than he does. I guess I just want some views or advice on my situation.
Confession 3. Found a dating app on his phone this morning. Advice please. I'll make it short. Accidentally brushed husband's phone when it was open and charging, and lo and behold, Binge is on the screen. It's on a girl's profile, and I see his photo, a photo I took, in the icon on the bottom. I scream WTF is that, and he grabs the phone. I ask him to show me the messages, so I can see the dates. He goes to show me, and then stops. You know how on an iPhone, when you pull down, it has the recent apps you've been on use frequently as a suggestion? Hinge was there. Right. He said he didn't even have the app. It wouldn't show up there if he didn't have it. Long story short, he says he downloaded it to fuck other women back in May when I moved out. I could accept that, as painful as it is to know I was being replaced immediately, but what I can't accept is that he obviously is still active on it. We reconnected in June, and I moved back in November. We've been in a bad place again, and he literally never ever leaves the house without me, so I truly don't think he's physically seeing anyone, but the fact that he's lying in bed checking the app next to me and talking to girls, clearly recently. He blatantly refused to show me the dates on the messages, which is a clear indication that it's recent, otherwise you try to prove your innocence, feels almost as bad as cheating. We've been in a bad place for a long time. Do I trust him, since he wouldn't show me the dates, that the messages are old? I know he's recently been on the app. Am I a fool to forgive him? I don't think I'll ever trust him with women again.